Welcome back to my channel. I've been having lots and lots of requests to do longer YouTube videos, which I'm happy about because I do like doing longer videos. So if you are one of those people that have requested that on my Instagram or TikTok, then thank you for that. Obviously I'm trying to build my little community over here, so a lot of people know me from like TikTok and then Instagram, so hopefully I'll be able to like make that on here as well and hopefully be able to make some helpful videos for you girls. But yeah, this week I wanted to make a video because I've been doing a lot more refresh of the videos I used to make. So when I had my surgery in 2023, I documented my whole journey, like endometriosis, getting the diagnosis, symptoms, surgery, all that kind of stuff. And obviously a lot of those videos now are just very old, so a lot of people, if they're discovering me for the first time, they're asking the same questions. So on TikTok I've got like a playlist, but I thought if I do like longer videos answering people's questions on YouTube, that gives someone like somewhere where they can sit and watch the videos at their own pace, at their own time, all that kind of stuff. So today basically what I'm going to go into is how I got my endometriosis diagnosis and what I did that led me to get there. So I started to have symptoms when I was like a teenager, but I never really actually started going to get any help until like my 20s. I never really knew what was going on, as a lot of people was just always like gaslit and told it's just a bad period and all that kind of stuff. So when I started to get help, I basically went to my GP initially, and obviously just like everybody else, I was kind of just fobbed off. There was just like, it's normal, it's your period, it's probably to do with your weight, all that kind of stuff. So they kind of was just like, go away, lose some weight, come back, blah blah blah. And I basically just kept going back, and I know that sounds really strange, but I generally just did. Like, I kept going back with pain, I kept going back with symptoms, I kept going back with things that I was experiencing. I literally just posted a video on my TikTok of my recent, like, of like my symptoms, like building up to my surgery and like what I have now and what I had before, all that kind of stuff. But basically some of the main symptoms that I was having is, number one, I felt like there was like a weight dragging down on my pelvis constantly. I'd have, obviously when I would have my period, it would be heavy, it would be debilitating, it would completely floor me for days, I wouldn't be able to do anything. I would have pain during intercourse, bleeding during sex, like painful bloating, like fatigue, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, I knew that all of these things that I was dealing with was not normal, but I couldn't really get anyone to take me seriously. So they initially sent me for some tests, so blood, scans, all that kind of stuff, and they was looking for everything. That's when they diagnosed me with PCOS first, so polycystic ovary syndrome. That's then where they was like, right, we've diagnosed you with something, give a metformin, see you later, we're done with that kind of thing. But I was obviously still in a lot of pain. Obviously, if you know a lot about PCOS, it's more of a metabolic, like hormonal condition rather than like a severe painful condition. So obviously, like, I was like, something else has got to be wrong. So then I started going to TikTok, and I just started like Google, like literally typing in my symptoms and like literally just saying what I was experiencing, and endometriosis came up. So then I started to look into more like more to do with endometriosis. So then I went back and I was like, I feel like maybe like this is what's wrong with me, or it could be something else, I don't know, but this is what I'm experiencing. And then they agreed to refer me into gynecology. Obviously, after seeing the gynecologist, they agreed to do surgery, to then which I was diagnosed with endometriosis. So that was kind of the process. And loads of people say, like, my advice for people and doctors to start taking you seriously is, one of the biggest things that I did was I documented everything. So every symptom, every pain, anything that affected me and how it affected me daily. And I basically just kept doing that to document to my doctors how it was affecting me and why it was really important for them to take it seriously. And that's what I always say now about like symptom logs and symptom journals. Like, I really do think there's like it's really powerful, because I think it really does help advocate for you along your journey. Also, like, taking someone with you to appointments, that absolutely makes a difference in my opinion, and I know it does for a lot of other people. But when I take my mother-in-law or my boyfriend, I always just get a better response when someone else is in the room. Also, if you're overwhelmed in appointments and things like that, write like a couple of questions down before you go to the appointment that you want answered before you leave. That really helps keep you on track, but it also helps you get like answers to your questions, so then when you're leaving, you're not kind of spiraling. And I find that kind of helps and sets you up for like a good kind of like productive appointment. But that's kind of like the main things that I did at the time. And obviously for me to try and find doctors, to continue to find gynecologists that take me seriously, is scary, because I've obviously had a long list of doctors that haven't. But like, fortunately for me, eventually I did find that one doctor that did listen to me, and that's obviously what changed everything for me. And I do believe they are out there. Like, sometimes it's just the process of elimination, trying to find the right ones. But yeah, like even now, obviously I'm under specialist now, but I'm still kind of fighting that gaslighting situation. Like I always say to people, like even with a diagnosis, you still do get gaslit, and it's really frustrating. And it's a bit of a weird feeling when you've got a diagnosis, because even myself sometimes I'm like sitting there gaslighting myself, because that's just what I've been used to almost. So yeah, I just think it's such a big thing, like advocacy across your whole endometriosis journey. It just never stops, and it can be quite exhausting sometimes. It can. So I completely, if anyone else is feeling the same, like I'm with you on that. But yeah, that's kind of like the main kind of situation. So I'm going to start with that, and then kind of see if anyone has any questions. And if you do have any questions of anything that I've experienced over my journey, whether that's PCOS, endometriosis, anything, please do let me know, and then we can make some more videos about it. But yeah, hopefully that has answered some of your questions, and yeah, let me know what other videos you want to see.